Alright, I got the little Jeeper on the lift. Yesterday I dropped my phone and broke it, so I had to run the price and get a new phone. But everything I videoed got broke with my phone. So I pulled the drive lines, transmission obviously because it's right there, transfer case, and the skid plate's over there. Pulled the clutch and all that stuff out of here, down to the flywheel. So now we can get some parts and we'll try to put it back together. I'll try not to drop my phone this time. And we really I didn't know that some of the bolts in this thing were Torx head. So like this bolt right here, I don't know if you can see that. The head of that, instead of being a regular bolt head, is a Torx head. And so we kind of fought them two bolts, trying to figure out why nothing would fit it. They were the top two bell housing bolts. Really freaking was not very cool. But we got it all out, got it tore down. Now we can get some parts, get it put back together, and that'll be one less project I got, which would be nice. I can start on the ones I want to do, and that's my old hot rod. Alright, we got the clutch kit and a tranny mount and a slave cylinder, some U-joints, a seal for the transfer case. I got a U-joint strap kit for the back drive line right there for the little Jeeper. So we're going to try to get that put back in this today. We got the transmission right there, the transfer case back there in a pile, skid plate. I pulled it all out in just a couple of hours, but I had a helper. Now I don't got a helper. And I dropped my phone last week. I dropped my phone when I was starting on this project, and I broke it, so then I had to go buy a new one, and that sucks because they're a lot of money. But we're gonna try to get that done. I got a window tint guy coming tomorrow. I'll see if he'll let me video some of that stuff. We're gonna tint my girlfriend's car, my hot rod, a couple guys that work with me stuff. So I cleaned up this area of the shop right here so that we can put a table right there. We got a big table in the house and have us a little area to do that. Hopefully I can get the Jeep out of the shop, because then we could use two bays to do tinning in. That would be kind of nice. So I'll get the clutch, get it put up in here, and I'll show that to you. Alright, so that's the main reason why we had to do the clutch in the Jeep, is that did not want to work no more. The pressure plate and all the clutch stuff in the Jeep didn't look too bad. That's the clutch disc that was in it. Wasn't all burnt and anything like that. I'm gonna walk over here. I got a light, threw it underneath here so we can see. And I'll show you what this. So you can still see swirl marks in it where somebody had wire wheeled it off before we got it to do this clutch job. So it's had one in it before. But we'll have to do the top part of that, because I changed the top part of the cylinder, of the clutch cylinder once, and it worked for a little while, but not very well. So I bought another one to change it. But that's a little Jeeper. We will see what we can do with it. Alright, so I got the clutch in there. Put it all up in. Got all my little bolts around it snugged up and tight. So that'll be brand new clutch in a little Jeeper. Be pretty good for it, I think. I hope. Alright, I got the tranny back in it. Got the 4 mounting bolts back up. Those top bolts was them stupid freaking, like a Torx head. It about made me completely lose it when we tore it apart because I didn't know they were Torx. All I knew was everything was stripping off of it and nothing wanted to bite it. I was pretty angry. But then once I got one out, I realized what it was. And I was like, wait a minute. So now it's got regular hex head bolts in it like it should have in the first place. Got a tranny in. I'll get the clutch stuff hooked up. I'll get the top of it bolted back down and that bracket for the transfer case on it. Get all that stuff in. It kind of decided that it wanted to pee all down me, so it dumped oil from right there all the way down my leg and completely saturated my shoe. So I dumped Ford's right on my shoe. But got that in. My kid came out and helped me. He's a big, tough 19-year-old kid, so it worked out pretty good. Got it in there. Now I'll do some more work on it and then I'll video it again. Try to get you a little closer look at some stuff. Alright, so we got the rear drive line back in. I got a new strap kit for it on the rear axle there. One of the U-joint caps was spinning on it. So I thought we'd put a new one in it, and then I put a new rear main, or new output shaft seal on it. And I've put a new one in it before, but it kept leaking, so this time I siliconed it around the outside, so hopefully it don't leak this time. Got a transfer case bolted in. I'll have to do the exhaust and all that good stuff later on. Got the transmission in it. Got front drive line on it. We did the new strap kit on the front drive line. I don't know if you can even see it up in there. New U-joints. We did both U-joints on it. I'll have to plug that speed sensor back in. Obviously I forgot to do that. Right there. So let's see if we can get that plug in there. Come on, little guy. There we go. Yeah, get that plug back in. No way that thing will work. But we're pretty close. I gotta put the exhaust on it, and then I don't know if you can see that. I couldn't get that off, so I gotta go figure out how to get that thing off and do that. And then I gotta do the master cylinder up on the firewall. I gotta do that thing for the clutch too to get it to where it'll work. I don't have a new hose, but I got the new slave cylinder inside the transmission, and I got a new slave or master cylinder for the firewall. But I didn't have a new hose, and I don't know how. I may have to have the old man get a new hose because I don't know about getting that to change out. But I will, I'll update it on when I get the rest of it put together and go drive it around. Hopefully it's really well. Alright, now I'm putting the exhaust back underneath this. Getting the 2 bolts up in there on it. And then run it over there. It bolts to the transfer case. Or transmission transfer case mount right there. So I'll get that bolted up and then I'll tighten it all up. And the muffler is on the ground right there in a pile of mess. We'll get that put in it. I cut it off with the tail because it was already broke out right there. So we'll get to that point and then I will record something else. We got it all in there last night. I had a friend come over and help me. So that worked out pretty good. Alright, so this little fitting here, little barbed sucker inside of there, is on that clutch hydraulic line from the Jeeper. it did not want to cooperate and come off. It's got, if I can get this hose out, it's got that end right there that goes up inside of it, and I had to really get after it to get it to come out. It was way stuck. So that's the hydraulic line off of it. I'll go over and show you the bottom of the Jeep, or where the new one's got to go in. So right there's that line right here where my finger's at. That is where it hooks into. I can't get that piece apart. I didn't want to try to force it apart because I didn't want to ruin it. So now the old man ordered another hose for it. So he's got it today. I'll go up and get it, and then we can try to finish putting the Jeep together. I'd have him come help me get that thing out. It was tough. It was not an easy task to get that out of there, but we got it. So hopefully the new hose he ordered has the right end on it, and I can just put it into that new one on the Jeep. But I'll let you know when I find out. Alright, I got the new master cylinder on it right there, and the new little hose to it in there. Got that all buttoned up, filled it up with oil, bled it down through to the bottom. We'll see how much it took to bleed it. Here in just a second, let me get that open. Oh, it took a little bit. It's down a little ways. So I will get some more oil, dump a little bit more in it. I started it, put it in gear with it on the lift, ran the clutch and the brake and the gas, and seems like it's going to work good. Tranny wanted to shift good in first, second, third, stuff like that. So I'm going to grab that brake fluid. I don't know what I did with it. Oh, it's right there. I'll top off that, get that topped off, and then I'll go to the bottom, show you how I bled it underneath, make sure that nothing's leaking down there, and then I will let her down and move my heater, and maybe we can drive the Jeep around for a minute. It's rainy and snowy outside today, so alright, back up underneath here again. Alright, there's where you bleed this thing. The drive line's right in a bad spot. So the little bleeder's right up there. It's the hose I put together on it. So you can kind of see it right there. So I just cracked it open, let oil flow through it, and then I pumped the living crap out of the clutch pedal. Got it freaking all done up. So I'm going to set it down, move my heater, and I'll take it for a little ride. We'll see what happens. Hopefully it's all good. I'm sure it will be.